Alrighty, and welcome to Star Trek Reliant, where we tell Star Trek stories in the Star Trek Online universe for funsies and your amusement, and to fill the gaping void between life and death. I am your GM tonight, Duncan Idaho, and I will begin us off for tonight by reintroducing our crew that we have for this evening. So we've got Security Officer Chorog.
My shuttlecraft is full of eels.
We've got our scientist out of time, DB Wells.
Hi, I am. Can you hear me? I still on. Hi, I'm here.
Hey,
He is in space. And we've got our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Eli O'Connor, and First Officer.
Wait, you guys aren't getting paid for this? Why am I getting like 7 Lamborghinis today?
You're who the Saudi princesses have favored.
Oh no.
And we've got our Con Officer, Kara Junrani.
hi, I'm Geraldine. I play Kara Jinrani. Mitoki Pona.
And we've got our Chief Engineer, Rick Tier.
As opposed to what you may have heard, sound does travel in space.
You need a really big microphone to pick it up, though. Just assume that's always off screen in Star Wars. They do a really good job of that, or just all sci-fi. Anyway, we begin our adventure tonight with a little recap of what happened last week, since this is part 2 of the episode Entropy Redux, a riff on one of my old Foundry missions. So, our crew has been called over to the planet Uchagra, where the Federation has recently lost a research outpost. It was attacked under mysterious circumstances, with relatively few casualties, just the senior commanding officer. But there's been a deeper mystery about, what happened there. We haven't detected any hostile ships, the locals have been acting a little strange, and we've made a discovery in the old research base that was there. Specifically a strange automata that's glowing purple that S2 players might recognize has attacked the away team, but has been taken down by a mysterious Romulan with glowing green eyes. We begin the adventure with a little bit of a hiccup. You notice that your computer systems and communicators are giving you error messages. And the entire away team at once, both the crew in the settlement and the crew over in the destroyed base.
So Kara just kind of looks around the corner and points to the Romulan and says, Semelikama.
Rick turns and just sort of does a series of hisses and growls before actually transitioning. Do you speak English?
Yes, I speak English. I was born in America. Unfortunately. Well, technically, listen, it's not important. I was born on a starship, but, over America, it doesn't matter.
Well, point is, it seems our, the universal translator is broken.
Kara looks around. Miken ala sona ichan.
Setsa.
Jonathan Cyprian? Cyprian Noctur.
Kara just sighs. Nili pilin ike.
Yeah.
Well, Rick T tabs his comm badge and just gets the connection rejected kind of sound. Alright, well, we can't contact each other, we can't contact the ship, we can't contact the other away team, and we have an unknown Romulan.
The Romulan gives the group a look and mutters, "Or up port."
Oh wait, shit, I was supposed to add something to it. That reminded me, thank you.
Kara looks around and looks at the Romulan and just says, Jolan True?
The Romulan just sort of pinches the bridge of his nose.
She's trying at least.
I had to fix my list.
Okay, got it. Haha.
I forgot Romulans existed, wow.
Yeah, and we've got a Romulan tonight. Okay.
I know, I'm sorry.
Eli has a working proficiency in Romulan, so he basically
Very limited.
you basically kind of recognize that he probably just like disparaged Starfleet with his comment. Like he basically says like what fools am I working with here?
Can I try to roll to say ones with broken universal translators?
Yes, you
Okay.
can. And I'm going to spend 3 threat, so complication range of 17.
All right, what kind of roll is this going to be?
So I'm just going to say this is going to be an insight command. Well, actually, let's see.
It should be presence.
Let's just
something.
make it a presence command. Yeah, just presence command. We're going to say reason command maybe if you were like really having to like back solve how to construct a phrase. But presence command would be most direct.
You said a comp of 17?
Yes.
All right, and quick question: Does a proficiency in xenoanthropology help at all, or not? I know it's stretching it, but
Yes, because languages just come into that a little bit. Like you've got enough of your understanding through xenoanthropology that you kind of understand, in an academic sense, how the Romulan language is constructed. So that will help you in trying to figure out a phrase.
my dialect is like 100 years off, though.
Yeah, your dialect is off. Your accent's going to be atrocious. Let's see how well you do.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Never mind.
4
It's pretty
successes.
fucking good.
You are actually. Yeah, so the Romulan looks kind of surprised, and you're sort of like, you get it. You sound a little posh to him, but at the same time, he's like, he kind of nods and just says, he says to you, I'm going to say you can understand him with that level of insight. Like, you basically sort of, you worked up enough that you have a working familiarity with what he's saying. You don't necessarily get everything, but you get enough. So he basically says to you, all right, seems like there's the synths have deployed a virus. So he kept it simple. So he just told you that the synths deployed a virus.
Eli turns to Rick Tier. This thing deployed a virus, and now this is why we cannot understand each other.
Well, Rick T is already sort of starting to pry his comm badge open, trying to connect his tricorder to it as running through some diagnostics. Well, that would definitely explain. Everything seems to be functioning, but all the communications protocols they're not responding as normal.
Setza tries her best to translate what's happening to Kara with her limited understanding of English and proficiency in the Ibi language of Nifan. So I'm going to give her a reason command roll.
While that's
2
happening,
successes.
Eli
Yeah, so 2
turns to
successes. So, just to quickly finish this up. Setza has relayed this information to you, Kara, as well. That there's synthetic constructs here, and a virus has deployed and infected your systems.
Kara just nods. This isn't too far away from what she figured must have happened.
And while everyone's explaining things to people, Eli's gonna give the slight. One of my sisters is half a Romulan to, the Romulan.
The Romulan just sort of like shrugs and says, "How fortunate for you."
Right?
All right.
He sort of makes it like he picks up his weapon, which is a large spear-like energy staff, or not like made of energy, but something that's a directed energy weapon that's basically long and pointy. And he just says in a very gruff, Spartan phrasing of just, "There's more of them," and he just proceeds to start walking down the corridor.
Eli turns to Rick Tier. There's more of them, and he points the body, quote unquote.
Rick just sort of grumbles at looking at the tricorder. Well, if we're gonna have to fix this, but we can't really fix it if we're gonna be dealing with these things.
Setza looks at the departing Romulan and says,
We help? That one, help we?
Suppose so.
Setza looks a little uncertain, like if she's understood that idiom right, and just sort of nods and sort of waits for the rest of the group. So you have a dead construct which has just been killed. You have not examined him yet. Then you've got a strange Romulan warrior who is off to go kill more of them.
Yeah, I'm going to transport a tag the construct for later examination.
No cursory tricorder roll?
Ooh, well, yeah, let's see if
Because
we
this
can
thing has
before.
just infected your... This thing, like, the constructs have apparently infected your local communication systems.
Yeah, better do that as well.
Transporting that to the ship might not be too prudent at this stage.
We'll throw it in a Faraday cage. It's fine.
All right, I will try to do at least a brief introductory scan of what's going on.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Kara has picked up enough to figure out where the Romulan is going, and she draws her pistol and follows him.
That's will follow Kara, and then for Rick, for your role here, I'm gonna spend 2 threat, so I've spent 5 total. For this role, because you also have to clear the malfunction in your tricorder before you can perform the scan. So I'm just going to incorporate that as a couple of threat here. Complication will mean you will not have tricorders.
Okay, can I have? Did we get any momentum from the Romulan?
Oh yeah, so for the Romulan roll, I would say that's difficulty 2. So you've got 2 momentum. And I would say Setsa's task was also difficulty 2, in trying to work out her languages. So, yeah, so let's say you've got 2 momentum at this point.
Alright, well, I'm going to use 1 momentum for an extra dice, seeing I've got cautious. And
so reduce the difficulty by 1.
No, it's just an extra dice when I roll.
Oh, okay.
So extra dice and I get to
weapon.
re-roll. That's a
Okay.
cautious thing. So that's 12 for the target. What was the complication? 17?
18.
18.
I don't know how well extra dice will work here, because you get more chances of hitting that comp.
Yeah, but I also got a re-roll, so...
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good one. 4 successes right out of the gate. Well, you get 2 momentum back, and you're able to basically clear and harden your tricorder. So you should not have any issue with scanning from now on. And I'm going to say this will also apply to the rest of the group. You're just like able to put out a little bit of a patch onto the local network to get everything ready to go. So with that, let's go ahead and cut back over to Chorog and Wells and Grimnir, Mary, and Grawl, John, who are over in the village. You're working through, you're listening to Mary get a full explanation of what happened to this settlement, and then all of a sudden you cannot understand the local. They have gotten to, they explained the attack, that what they saw, large energy burst hit the settlement. Few Federation officers moved over to the settlement, but they were beamed out relatively early. It's basically, he gets to the point of like, and then your translators cut out.
Charles was standing there listening, and all of a sudden what the native was saying was making absolutely no sense. He turns to Grimnir and goes to say something, but obviously Charog's universal translator is now malfunctioning as well. The only thing he manages to get out is Nuska Prongi.
Grimnir looks...
Grawl looks around and then says in English, I think we have a problem.
Grimnir says something guttural in Nordic. Mary says, it does indeed seem like we have a problem here.
Why is everybody talking in different languages all of a sudden?
Grawl points at Grimnir. Okay, I don't have a clue what he's saying, or the Uchagrans, but I think I understand most of the rest of you.
Mary checks her comms and says, it appears our gear's been infected with a computer virus.
Grawl looks around. I can translate, but I can't fix this.
Wait, we had translators?
Yes. How do you think you were understanding the diverse aliens that were working on the Reliant?
Well, I thought we just got a standardized language. No one ever told me about this.
Grawl looks at him. A standardized language that you just happen to know from the ancient past.
Chorog, meanwhile, is tapping at his mask and jiggling it, and when he gets out is Umangi Krataka.
I'm so tempted to try to say something for Grimnir, but I'm just going to say guttural Nordic, guttural Nordic cursing. I just have not been exposed to enough Gaelic or Scandinavian to try to emulate the tongue of the Nord in Skyrim. So, at any rate, though, the alien is just basically looking at all of you speaking different languages. He's looking somewhat concerned. I mean, he's been forced to basically blab using the curious persuasive abilities of Mary. So, do any of you try to calm him down physically, or try to mime something?
Guaral looks over and kind of points at his comm badge and then makes kind of a snapping motion with both of his hands, trying to state that it is broken.
Uchagrin says, no. And just sort of like makes a clasping hands gesture, which may mean that he understands what's happening, or may mean that he's completely confused. You can try an insight command roll, try to, just get a general feel for attitude through the tone and the body language that you've seen of the Uchagrin so far, but this will be fairly difficult.
Okay, we don't actually have a sheet for Guaral, I don't think.
Guaral being an anthropologist, I will go ahead. Also a charismatic anthropologist. Target range of 14 with a target range of 14 with a critical range of 4.
Okay, I think I get what he's saying. He says, what does he say?
Okay, so what he basically says, I see, I understand. That's kind of the general feeling, like a growing sense of awareness of the situation and understanding of the malfunction.
Guaral looks at the group. Okay, so at least the Uchagrin knows what's going on, so he's not going to panic, but we still have a problem.
Mary says, indeed. We should probably try to make contact with the rest of the away team.
Guaral double taps his badge to see if anything happens.
It sort of hiccups.
Guaral to
nothing hiccups.
Anyone?
You just sort of get a staticky pulsing noise.
Guaral looks over. Is there an engineer in the house?
You brought checkers.
And Chorok technically is also capable engineer.
True, but thus far, Guaral and Mary have been speaking in English, so probably the only one who's followed them so far is Checkers.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Chorog, meanwhile, rips his mask off, chucks it on the ground. Khan just puts his hands on his hip and walks off.
Checkers, he starts saying in very loud German, "Yes, I could fix it." Not understanding what's going on fully.
Okay, so are you going to try to fix the translator? Or
Sure.
the comms?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spend 4 threat. So
Thank you.
I think for the evening I've got 1 more.
For now.
That's it. Yeah, unless one people want to, try to get, bonuses from spending threat, or giving me threat. Anyway, so I'm going to spend almost all of my remaining threat. And you are going to have to do an insight engineering roll with a complication of 16. And difficulty of, just say 2. You need 2 successes to get this.
All right, I definitely don't have any focuses that would apply this time. Like mining techniques or technologies, that is not a.
You have
That
4
is-
momentum, so you can spend
True.
extra dice or.
But it's
reserve
funnier
some
if I fail.
priority rolls.
Although I do have a talent. Let me just see what this does real quick. Sorry, I just gotta open up the actual thing that shows me all the talents and shit. It's a bit of a pain. Hold on.
And also, while all this is happening, I mean, Jean's trying to talk, but he's just got little, his antenna are twitching, and he's making little, mooing and growling noises.
Okay, here it is. Whenever you attempt an engineering task to perform repairs, you may reduce the difficulty by 2 to a minimum of 0. If you do this, however, then the repairs are only temporary and will last a single scene, plus 1 additional scene per momentum spent.
Okay, you can try that. and use that. You can opt to use that, I'd say. So you.
I'm using that because I just want to see this for the drama. I want to see this like immediately fall apart.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Like no difficulty then.
Okay. So,
Let's see if he does it.
And then, also for 2 successes. So were you trying to clear the comms or the translator?
The comms.
Okay. So you've got comms back, but everyone. Okay. So you've got comms back temporarily, and specifically for the scene. So you know it's a shaky patch, but you can contact the other away team now.
Not the
Or
ship.
Reliant. Or Reliant, yeah.
Checkers is going for Reliant. Guten Tag.
Waitley responds, "Wie geht's in Sie heute?"
El Gravezo.
Graves gets on the line and says in English, "All right, it sounds like they're having problems down there too."
Sir,
Waitley,
this
can
is
you
Grawl. Our universal
Oh, hey,
translator
Grawl.
is down.
Hey, I'm Oh wait,
Yeah,
wait. You guys speak English? Cool. I thought we were all speaking German.
At the point where he says you all speak English, Grawl just bows his head and just covers his head with his claws.
Graves says, "All right, yeah, we just had some problems up here. We're about to clear it off. Fortunately, our systems are a bit more insulated, but looks like your system's a bit compromised. We lost our status feeds for the away team. So, what's your status down there?"
Pretty good.
Oh,
So-
Well, besides the not being able to understand things, and
I
that
could-
we had to jury rig a way to be able to call you.
Grawl looks over at Checkers to see if he's going to say anything else for a second. And then,
He's quiet.
and then says, I can
Oh,
translate
and we forgot to.
can translate for most of the team, sir. He says, giving an evil eye to Checkers, but we can't understand the locals, and I can't understand Grimnir for some reason.
Interesting. All right. What about Chorog?
Grawl looks around.
Graves, I'll try to hail him. I know a little bit of Noskian. I'll see what I can do. In the meantime, do you need a transport up, or are you going to be investigating what happened down there?
Definitely send a shuttle if you can.
I
I think
would-
that might be prudent.
I would
All
request
right, yeah,
transport
we'll be
back
able
so
to-
that we can replace our comm badges, sir.
Or we could just transport some comm badges down to you after we
I'd still send a
them
shuttle.
to resist the virus. Oh, we can do a shuttle too. It's just we
Yeah,
don't
bring
need
a
to
shuttle
be,
just in case the
in risk
transporter does the.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and send a shuttle down to your location. Yeah, we'll just try to make sure that it's not going to disturb the Uchagrans too much.
I was able to get across the idea that our universal translator is broken. I would say that until we get things fixed, they at least have an idea of what's gone wrong.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and what about the rest of the party?
Oh yeah, we should have talked to them. Well, we'll give it a shot, and this is where I want the thing to break down.
Let's go ahead and have a breakdown.
Woo!
But let's say it works like okay, so it works like it breaks down on your call, but they still have a little time left because I do want to have Graves try to contact Chorog.
All right.
So Chorog's communicator beeps.
Truck rock.
Graves says in like a real in Pigeon Nautican, how are the stones hanging?
Balchakapu. Roughly
You can
translated.
understand.
Roughly
Yeah.
translated in Noskin means universal translator is broken. I can't understand a damn thing.
Graves says, okay, let's see, how saucy do I want to make this? A shuttle is flying towards your behind.
Rakapahacha, which means you stay out of my ass.
Graves kind of blinks and says, go fornicate with the others.
Nektaha. Translated means I don't bend that way.
Graves sighs and just says, Graves out.
Russ.
So, okay, so Chorog, you've wandered off from the tour. What are you going to be doing here?
Contemplate. Trog is walking around. He's pissed. Universal Translator is broken. He can't understand a damn thing. He's trying to come up with a way to maybe try to make it work.
Okay,
Trog,
so you're
Trog-
going to try to attempt a repair then.
He's going to try to attempt to repair, or maybe see if he can find someone that speaks one of the languages he speaks.
Chances are no. This is a heavily insular society, and chances are they've been relying exclusively on the Universal Translator. They may know other Uchagran languages, but they're definitely not going to know anything from the Alliance. So that kind of leaves you with either go back to the others and hang around and don't get separated from the group under a time when your systems aren't working and you have no communication, or you can try to fix the Universal Translator.
Charles is going to take a couple long draws of his venom to try to clear his head and try to come up with a solution to fix his Universal Translator so he can at least understand what's going on. So Trog storms back, the proverbial storm clouds above his head because he's just beside himself pissed. Picks up his mask and starts tinkering with it.
Guten
Daniel goes up to Chorog and asks,
You broke off there.
Sorry, I had to check Google Translate. He goes up to Chorog and asks, "A ti govorish po-ruski?"
Chorog looks up from what he's working at, cocks his head to his side, looking at Daniel like he just grew 3 heads and goes back to his work.
Okay, so that's a no on Russian.
I do not believe he would know any Earth languages, Mr. Daniel.
You never know. People can surprise you.
This is true.
Grimnir just...
What?
So, for Chorog, your roll to fix it, I've only got one more threat to spend, so I'm going to do it, but I'm going to say that this is going to be you'll need 3 successes in order to fix the Universal Translator, just like completely. 2 would buy you a little time with it. 1 would allow you to understand the problem, but you wouldn't be able to fix it. This would be an insight engineering roll. 2 successes. You've gained a little bit of time with the Universal Translator on. So all of a sudden, boom, everyone can understand everyone for a few minutes here.
Bajka! George puts his mask back on. He can understand things. As long as the Universal Translator is working, Trog manages to get out. About time I fix this shuttlecraft, about time I manage to fix this thing, my shuttlecraft is full of eels.
Grawl blinks and says, "Well, if you can understand me, we've got replacement comm badges coming. The captain sent a shuttle."
My nostrils explode with delight.
In the corner, Grimnir is just sort of quietly singing to himself. Dovakin, now op sind las Vardin, Boku, Larvek, Astval.
Just gone over to Daniel with a flask and says, I'm not going to try pronouncing that, so translate it, just let's get drunk and wait till it's all over. It's Russian, since you heard him try that.
Trog
hands him a flask.
Trog slaps his mask a couple of times. God damn it, mask it. My Universal Translator is translating that Hungarian phrasebook again.
Grimnir comes over and partakes in the the impromptu drinking session that's broken out, and in so doing sort of is in range of the fixed Universal Translator that Chorog is working. Does, oh bloody hell, I can hear it. I can understand y'all.
Grawl just kind of looks around and says, "I'm not used to being the one that's de facto in charge."
Wait, what rank are you?
Mary sighs.
Grawl is an ensign, but he knows the most languages out of anybody here.
Mary sighs and says, "It's under extraordinary circumstances, and you're doing quite well."
Well, please no one wander off again, at least not until we get replacement badges.
Grimnir and Mary nod. And with that, let's go ahead and cut back over to the research base. So, the Ibby have wandered off from the tour with the strange Romulan fellow. The rest of you, Bryce, who I'm just going to say is only able to speak English.
So much for the positronic brain.
Yeah, that would fix a little too much. So I'm going to say he's limited here, but he can speak English.
He only downloaded 1 language pack. Didn't bother with the rest. I was going to say Eli was going with them too. I forgot we had Bryce with us. So yeah, Bryce can stay with Rick here.
Yeah, let's say Bryce was up at the top. So did anyone call for him? He might not even notice there's a problem.
Oh,
yeah, so Bryce is okay. No, like Bryce is just like enjoying the scenery upstairs.
He doesn't know there's a problem. God.
No, he doesn't know there's a problem. Like,
Just
he's
starts
absorbed
hearing
by
cursing
nature.
in other languages. Like, the fuck is going on?
Oh, you're too deep in the facility right now. Okay, so Rick and Eli, you do have a choice. So you've got you've got scan data on a highly sophisticated combat android that appears connected to a local network. That's what your tricorder scan gave you. It appears to have some minor anti-proton weapons, but it doesn't appear to have anything like it's just built into its arms. So you don't find a more devastating weapon built into this. So nasty, not like super worrying at this point.
So Eli's going with the Romulan and the others, though.
Okay, so Rick is by himself.
Well, Rick will just start working on trying to figure out the virus and try and re-enable. We'll start with comms.
All right, so you're going to try to fix comms?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and do so, but I'm making this difficulty 3.
All right, well, I'm going to be spending a momentum. This is insight engineering.
Yeah, it's still figuring out a strange alien infiltration to your computer systems.
Okay. I'm going to re-roll one of those 18.
Okie dokie. Good thing I didn't have any threat to spend. I would have spent like 3. That would have been bad.
Well, it's still one success.
Yeah, it's still one success, but you needed 3.
Oh, can I, I should have used this beforehand, but use my, determination.
Oh, I'll go ahead and let you have that. So you can spend your determination, so that gives you an automatic crit, and then you've got 1 success.
Yes.
Okay, so you're able to get comms back for your group. You don't have the translator, though, but you got the comms. But I'm going to say for your group, specifically. The other group's getting new combat, so they'll be fine in a moment. But you can now contact Reliant.
And so he'll tap his combat and say, in English, Rick here to Reliant.
Graves answers, Reliant here. How are you doing down there?
We are in, well, a bit of an interesting experience right now. Not only is the universal translator broken, but we have discovered the source of the virus that caused it and have encountered a Romulan who helped us in defeating a construct, a synthetic being that was the cause, was the source of the virus.
All right, Romulan, you said.
Yes, I don't believe anyone speaks Romulan, but
Eli literally just did.
oh, well, Eli.
Yeah, you
Eli
saw.
had.
You
Yes,
saw
sorry.
Eli.
So Eli and the others are currently with him. I'm currently staying back examining. Bryce is currently keeping an eye on the base itself, but I'll probably, after I finish up, call him back here just to keep me company for a bit.
All right, Rick, I would recommend not being by yourself where you found a strange alien construct that just took out our systems. So Reliant also was infected with the virus. We figured it now. We're sending updated comm badges to the rest of the away team, but we have no location to send it to you. Like right now, your location is scattered. We won't be able to beam you up. We've got a shuttle coming into the other base, but you need to get either to the rest of the away team or to Bryce. We don't want anyone by themselves here. That's easy picking.
Yeah, I will. I think I'll be heading to Bryce, and then we can escort the comm badges to everyone else.
Yeah, if you're able to find them. But yeah, top priority, safety down there. We'll try to figure out things as best we can, but we want to get everyone out as safely as possible.
Understood, Captain.
All right. All right. Once you're back with Bryce, head back over to the Chagan village to pick up fresh comm badges from the others, then return to the research base to retrieve the Ibby and Eli.
Understood. I'll keep you updated.
All right, Graves out.
And with that, he will call. Let's go with Eli on the comm badge.
Chirp, chirp, Eli.
He answers.
I've just re-enabled our comlink. Got access to the Reliant. The virus did somewhat spread, but the Reliant managed to keep it controlled, and they've dealt with it up there. I'm going to head up to Bryce, and there's got some extra comm badges, new comm badges that are hardened against the virus, so they'll be able to act as translators as well.
Roger that. I'm sticking with the Romulan, since, I can actually translate what he says to Kara and Setsa.
Yeah, it seems like you translating from Romulan to English to Ifan.
Yeah, it's a big, fun chain.
Yeah. Well, I'll be back soon, and Rick starts climbing back up to Bros.
Good luck.
So, for the rest of the group, you've been following the Romulan. He's been not talkative. He's just he's taking advantage of the fact that you're there and apparently willing to help. But is not volunteering any information, not, small talking. He's very robotic in how he's proceeding through this. Setsa and Kara have been talking in Ifan. Setsa just more or less describing, how she tried to pick up some English to talk to Graves without the universal translator. She's a little blushy about it.
Kara just mentions that the only thing she's studied was a conlang that looked pretty fun, called Tokipona.
And at that moment, the Romulan sort of puts a hand out, and just sort of stops the group and is just waiting and listening.
Kara does likewise, keeping her pistol at the ready.
Insight security for Kara and Eli.
Oh boy.
Well, this will go well.
I almost used checker stats. Hold on.
Didn't go as badly as it could.
You said insight security?
Insight security.
Somehow.
Eli, you both hear a thumping, like heavy robotic footsteps. And Eli, you're able to tell sort of which direction it is. So you're looking in the same direction of the Romulan. Sort of, you're at a T intersection. You're both looking over to the left. The Romulan motions and says in a gruff voice to Eli, to over there. Ready to fight?
Eli nods. He looks to the two Ibby, holds up two fingers, and points those fingers in the directions that they're looking.
That's a waves.
Kara just, kind of nods, realizing that there's enemies, so she's just waiting for engagement.
So, as they approach, the Romulan is going to basically hold his staff out into the hall and just fires kind of a blind shot, or apparently blind shot. The shot has a sort of a loud green piercing bolt that strikes one of the constructs and staggering it right in the chest. The other one holds out an arm and fires an anti-proton blast, and it just sort of has a little bit of a small ping, where close to where the Romulan was holding out his energy staff.
Kara brings up her pistol and shoots at the one that shot at the Romulan.
Control security.
Okay, first off, I get an automatic success because I'm augmented.
Hey.
So 3 total successes.
3 total successes. With that, I'm just going to say you bypass the defensive systems and you basically drop the that particular android. The other one, though, is staggering up, sort of recovering from the initial blast. So, Eli, you've got an option for attacking.
Eli, having no ranged weapon, just charges with knife shoe.
God damn it.
Kick.
You can try throwing the shoe.
No, because then I'm going to have to walk around without the shoe.
Not to mention that gives everyone else an excuse to say, who throws a shoe, honestly?
I'm not letting him get that.
I can't spend threat. I'm just going to make this difficulty 2. And this is going to be security.
It's going to be a what?
Daring security.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Being very
Eli,
daring.
charge to kick the thing in the face, specifically going for the face. If you didn't say two.
success.
If you didn't say two. Hold on.
So you're able.
Can I use a momentum to re-roll the 17?
Yes.
Okay, how do I spend a momentum?
Click the spend button.
Where's the spend button?
I'll just go ahead and do it.
Duncan.
It's where we have that pop up. So every time you see in chat, you see the momentum, you got the add and spend buttons. You can click those, and we get our pool to be modified. So we got one momentum damage.
So yeah, I'm only re-rolling one of them. I'm re-rolling that 17.
Yep.
Okay, fair.
You don't get shot, and the kick is a grazing one, so you actually do make contact. Now you're staring down a combat android. Any reaction?
I'm definitely moving to the other side of it so people can get a clearer shot without me in the way.
Or just like ducking?
Nah, just like, that's awkward. I'm just gonna squeeze right past you. Come on.
It tries to grab you. It's one success, so this is going to be a opposed roll. Fitness security. Trying to shove it back and trying to stop it from grabbing.
I don't know you.
You're sort of tangled. So the Romulan sort of charges up and tries to stab the construct with his lance. He basically he's got 4 successes though. So the Romulan just quickly, without hesitation, just charges down the hall, raises the lance and brings it down onto the construct's head. He then yanks it down as Eli falls back after the sudden release of the android. And the Romulan just cleaves the thing in two, just pulling the energized point of his lance straight down. He then gives Eli a piercing look and says, he says in a very sort of flat facial expression, valiant effort.
Says what?
Valiant effort.
I had him on the ropes. I would have got him.
Kara doesn't
Jokes.
understand. Kara doesn't understand what's being said, but she gets the general vibe of it, and she just kind of chuckles to herself.
The Romulan then points to Eli's shoe and says, strange weapon.
Spy weapon. Thought a Romulan would understand that.
There's a knowing nod from the Romulan. So you have destroyed 2 more androids, and it's now a sign of relative peace. Setsa pokes out and is just looking around. Do you try to engage the Romulan in conversation, or simply just continue along your patrol?
Let's try a little bit of casual conversation.
Presence command.
And I still get the xeno-anthropology thing?
Yeah. Alright. You are able to basically be charming enough that the Romulan kind of gives in, and he's able to have a conversation with you at this point. So I'll leave it to you to initiate this conversation.
So, pretty fortunate that you happen to be here.
Fortunate indeed, perhaps. You were not with the original settlement?
No, we were sent to investigate what happened here.
Let's see.
Do you know what these things are?
They are advanced synthetic life. Danger to the populace and to Starfleet. That's all you need to know.
Well, that's apparent. Thank you.
Yeah,
with anyone in
I did
particular?
not volunteer the information earlier.
Understood. You with anyone in particular? Fenris Rangers?
I am with the Conclave.
The what now?
Conclave.
Never heard of it.
We've devoted ourselves to protecting sentient life against synthetic dangers.
Sorry, never heard of you.
The Romulan just sort of is slightly relieved and says, very well. There may be a few more here. I'm not detecting many more power core signatures. Your name is?
Dr. Eli O'Connor.
I am Zacius Havoc.
Havoc.
And he sort of shrug, he just kind of looks to his hand he's do I try to shake his hand? And he just shakes his head and says, alright, do your other companions need protection, rest?
Eli turns to Setsa. Do you need protection or rest? That's what he asked. Yeah.
Setsa says in kind of slightly broken English,
I would like to not die.
Not dying is nice.
Is that an
That's
option?
that is definitely optional.
Very much not die.
Has any-
Not die.
Has anyone translated what the Romulan said for Kara?
No. Yeah.
Are you gonna tell Kara?
That just goes,
Oh yeah. So
and she switches to Ibby.
so Kara, this man is actually
She looks back to Eli.
I would like to know what's happening. I mean, you haven't told us yet. Like,
He's just taking care of the evil synthetic robots. I'll brief Graves on it later.
Right, and for protection, like anything like radiation or
I think he just means, from these things.
yes, you very much want.
She's like nodding vigorously.
They're saying yeah.
I was about to say, has this been translated to Kara? Because I still don't know
not
that.
yet. So Zetto is just getting the information now. So now Zetto the card.
Says, okay, this man killed robots, but that seems obvious.
Okay, anything else?
Not that Eli told me, no, but apparently the Romulan is interested in our safety, so that's nice.
Kara, hearing the word safety, just kind of looks down at the construct she shot, looks over at the Romulan, just kind of shrugs as if to say, do I look like I need protection?
The Romulans just sort of just gestures slightly to Setsa.
Many hands make light work, friend. He says in Romulan.
The Romulan side, it's like, very well, let's finish this up. So we cut back to the rest of the away team. And actually, at this point, we've been going for about an hour. Do we want to have a bio break?
Yes, please.
So, let us return to the action. So, the rest of the away team, your badges have arrived. So, transporter down, everyone's got new badges, and you can understand each other, and you've got comps back.
Goral happily puts his back on and says, well, that's it for me being in charge.
Before Daniel puts on his new badge, he wants to try a little percussive maintenance to see if he can fix the old one.
All right. Let's go ahead. I want to spend lots of threat here. I'm going to rule of cool it and say you can do this. Try percussive maintenance. Actually, no. I know how to do it. Okay, you can try percussive maintenance, and it's going to be a difficulty of 2 for a control security roll. I know how to make this one work.
Did he say control security?
Yes, control security. So 1 success for Chorog, or is that a percussive maintenance roll?
Yeah. Chorog takes the old translator.
Oh,
Before he
hold
puts
on. I got I do have a special set of circumstances that'll happen with given levels of success here. So we're still waiting on Daniel to do his roll.
Okay.
Sorry, it's been a bit since I've had to roll anything. So you said difficulty 2, right?
Yeah, basically you need 2 successes. You don't need to bother putting that in. Just go ahead and roll with your target. The difficulty, it doesn't basically it's just for the output display. It doesn't really change that much. So both get 1 success. You smash the comm badge. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. And what you've resulted in is a dented and sparking comm badge. With 1 success, it does not blow up. That's what you're rolling for. The comm badge does not explode.
I have
But at this time,
deemed this experiment a failure, Daniel announces before putting on his new comm badge.
Chorog looks at the badly mauled old comm badge in his hand and say, "Oh, I guess that didn't work," and pockets it after he puts the new one
John-
up, after he installs the new one.
Hey, who says you get
John-
to keep it? Daniel wants to keep the broken comm badge.
you can keep it. I mean, no one's taking it away from you. You're just getting a new comm badge.
I know.
Hey, I might be able to use
No.
these parts for something else.
John just gives both Chorog and Daniel just an encouraging thumbs up. And at this point, Rick and Bryce arrive back at the compound.
Oh, there we go. We've found each other.
Mary nods and says, "You doing all right?"
Well, we found the cause, and there's some kind of construct that was the result of the virus and the universal translators and con failures, and the rest of the team is with some unknown Romulan that we found there.
You let them go off with an unknown Romulan at a base that was destroyed by an unknown attacker that we could not detect.
Well, we did. They did destroy the construct that was the source of the virus, as far as we can tell. But it was the Eli's and their decision to go. So I didn't really have any say in it.
Mary gives Rick a look and says, "All right, you sure the construct is the bad guy here?"
It is the construct. I'm pretty certain that the construct is at least the source of the virus. As far as broader definitions of bad guys, I can't say.
Mary nods and looks to the ranking officer, which, after a moment, draws her attention back to Rick. Says, "All right, sir, what are your orders?"
Well, let's get join up with the team investigating and make sure that if something does happen with the Romulan, we're there.
The group may notice that there are no Uchagrans around. Like the market area has been completely emptied. The Uchagran Mary was interrogating has also scuppered off.
Raul kind of looks around. This is foreboding.
So, do you then just proceed over to the back to the research base?
I'm gonna do a scan for whatever power signatures I can for the synthetic beings.
Okay. Give me a insight science roll.
This is gonna go poorly. One success.
Like, I mean, you detect that power signatures associated with the androids. I mean, there's a faint signal. You have no idea where it is, though. Could be back at the base. It's sort of like at that extreme range of there's some in the region.
Raul, you're better in. Do you know any particle physics?
Wait, what?
We're trying to find some anti-proton readings to see if we can pin there's any of those constructs in this area. Since
I'm an anthropologist.
Perhaps I could try something?
He is the scientist who did all sorts of timey-wimey stuff.
Actually, that would make sense for you to do it, Daniel.
He is the astrophysicist. So, Daniel, putting your Starfleet training so far to work, you know how to operate the tricorder and scan for types of radiation. You recall from your college days, just what you're trying to look for in the more exotic quirks and interaction effects. What an antiproton signature should do. So you're going to be able to scan for this with some competence. So go ahead and give me an insight science roll. With if any focuses apply, let me just go ahead and check that myself. Except, is your sheet in your sheet? Oh, there, I found it. Okay, so insight science. Your target number is 12, and antimatter would apply. So your critical number is 5. You're going to be shooting for. You can just go ahead and just roll a 12, and then we'll interpret your group from there. You're on mobile, and it can be a little bit harder to throw in the extra parameters. No success, one complication. There's androids everywhere. There's just readings all around you. Everywhere.
Huh.
You take that at face value?
That doesn't look right. Daniel tries the tried and true method that all science relies upon, and taps the screen a few times.
Nothing happens. The tricorder appears to have locked up.
Daniel just kind of hands the tricorder back and says, "So I may have broken it."
I'll see what the Reliant can find. Taps his combat. Rick here to Reliant.
Reliant here.
The marketplace has suddenly gone a bit quiet. Could you just double check that there's no signs of any anti-proton or parasignatures with these with the signature on it in it? I'll send it from my tricorder.
All right. We've been monitoring. We're not detecting any unusual radiations, antiproton included, or any anomalous power signatures at your location. The Uchagrans might just be trying to avoid you right now.
All right then. If you're not detecting anything unusual, I guess we'll head back to base.
I think you're clear to proceed.
All right. And communicate that to the rest of the team and lead them back towards the Starfleet base.
Okay, so as you do that, the other team has moved it down to basically the last cargo bay. You've done a full sweep of the complex here, so you're kind of at the last point where there could be something. And you're at sort of a higher security cargo bay. The doors here have definitely been sort of blown open. So this is probably where the androids inserted from, which is a little odd that they do it down here. And yeah, you've got a similar situation where the Havoc, the Romulan, is kind of scoping things out, scanning, and sort of checking to see if there's anything around the corner into the cargo. But he turns and says to the group, "Two more in there, plus a more sophisticated computational unit. Non-combat, but could interfere with highly sophisticated devices."
Alright, so should we target that one first?
If you do not wish to recover it, it is a fair target.
If it's going to interfere, we could always just check it post-destruction.
Kara just repins a new comm badge to her uniform and just says, blast them all. If there's anything left, analyze that.
It just makes my work harder.
And that doesn't sound very scientific.
You're not in this scene, remember.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
This is
When
bad
did you get
back
here?
with the other base.
Yeah,
You
so
teleported.
The back and forth is getting me confused. I thought that they came over to our group and
No, so you've just left from the you haven't worked your way through the base and found them yet. Your group has just set off for the little the short hike from one location to the other.
In that case,
You're
Kara
in
didn't
transit
say
on foot.
Kara didn't say anything. She doesn't have a new combat. She can't understand what anyone's saying.
Okay.
Setsu translates to Kara.
There's like 3 things we need to shoot, I think, and one of them doesn't have a gun. I didn't quite catch that.
Okay.
But
Shoot
they
the
wanna
one that
shoot it
doesn't have the
anyway.
gun last.
Okay, sounds good.
Um,
Kara says we shouldn't shoot the non-shooty one first. We should shoot that one last.
Eli responds to Setsa. He said it can interfere with devices. That could also mean weapons, so...
Okay, so shoot that first.
and Setsu says
Exactly.
to Kara,
They're gonna shoot it. We're gonna shoot it first because it could blow up our guns.
Kara raises an eyebrow and shrugs.
all right, so you basically see into the murky room that there's sort of this blue glow, just sort of that's stationary, sort of deeper into the room. It's enough that you'd be able to point and shoot at it, and then there's a couple of purple glows behind some boxes, so those are probably where the androids are. You basically take a pot shot at the computational unit.
Since nobody else seems to be in the offing, Kara just kneels down, lines up a shot, and goes for it.
Control security, and I have no threat.
2 successes, 1 complication.
All
We
right.
didn't need the threat.
Ooh, let's see what we do here for the complication.
Just remember, I also got 2 successes.
Okay, let's just put it this way. I'm not going to do anything a little bit more complicated or fancy about this. You destroy a stationary Iconian device, but the explosion definitely alerts the other constructs, and they just come barreling through the pile of boxes and start shooting. So everyone's got to make a dodge roll at this point. So that's going to be a fitness or daring security. Fitness just to, fling yourself, daring to do it in a more coordinated way.
Kara has 1 success on the dodge.
1 success. And that's the fitness.
Setsa's got 2 successes, so everyone basically avoids getting shot. Setsa's kind of in a position to shoot back, but she doesn't have a weapon with her.
See, I think a lot of people are going to be learning the lesson that Kara learned at the end of this mission, which is always be armed.
Yes.
I am armed, though.
You've got a shoe. Okay,
With a knife!
Okay, so, Conclave guy's got to make a roll. He also dodges. He's going to be the first to return fire. And he hits one of the constructs, heavily damaging it. Let's see, Kara, at this point, you're able to take another shot.
Wait, I want a chance.
Oh, she's not going to destroy both.
Okay.
Yeah, he heavily damaged. I'm just going to say you need to get 3 successes in total to take these out.
Kara aims for whatever one is not obviously firing at them and fires at that one.
Okay, that's the one that has... Actually, you could also look at it the way of take down the one that just got damaged or suppress the other one.
Kara's going for whatever one doesn't look like it has a weapon. She's just sticking to the plan as she knows it.
Oh, you've already blown up that one.
Oh. Okay, well, she's just going to shoot at the one that's been shot.
Okay, so shoot at the one that's been shot.
4 successes.
It is just completely annihilated. You hit the power cord, just detonates. Causing the other one to stagger, leaving Eli an opening.
It's time to do a crane kick to the face. With the knife.
Shoot. Crane.
Oh, shit.
2 successes. You, with the opening, you basically, heavily damage that thing. You just basically blind it. You just take out its optical sensor unit. So it staggers back, and at that point, Havoc just sort of casually just points his weapon at it and just, takes it down.
Roll.
Yeah, so you've got, 2 dead constructs. You got a Conclave Romulan with you, and a really shattered, just scrapped, apparently, console or computer unit.
So after the firefight is over, Kara basically just looks over at the Romulan, has this shit-eating grin on her face, and just kind of waggles her eyebrows like, yeah, I'm good.
The Romulan gives a approving nod to Kara, while Setsa just kind of looks over and says,
Is that all of them? Are we good?
Believe so. By the way, can I make that cybernetic roll I talked about during the break?
yes, go ahead and make that.
Alright, what'd it be?
Insight medicine, with focus definitely applying. 2 successes, so you are able to determine that the Romulan is also heavily augmented with cybernetics. Not just his eyes, but the way he moves. It kind of strikes you that his entire body's been augmented.
Eli mutters to himself in English, seems like it's Kara's dream. To be.
That's a blanks. She says to Kara,
He says to Kara. I think.
Wait, are you
Eli
snitching
says-
on me?
I think Eli just said that, the Romulan Havoc is the perfect man for you. I think it might be.
What are you
interesting.
saying?
Kara hears this, hears Eli protesting, apparently in a language she doesn't understand, and just kind of looks at both of them and just gently pushes her way through and goes to examine the androids.
What did you tell her?
That the Romulan was our dream guy?
No, I said he's heavily augmented. I was saying that she'd probably want to be like him.
Oh. Okay, I think I get that now.
I was just muttering to myself. What?
So, Kara, you're examining the constructs. They, one is just slagged. I mean, there's really nothing to get. Its power core detonated. There's just melted fragments thereabout. The other one that's been taken out is in better condition, but definitely, how its processing core's probably been toasted, and there doesn't seem to be any active readings. It may have even fried itself on recognition that it's been destroyed.
Kara figures that she's just gonna go look at this stationary object then, since it looks like the best one they've recovered, they already recovered before.
And everything else is just blasted computer, blasted fragments of something that may have just been like an orb or a console. It's just fragments of computer all around. But
well, with nothing to examine, Kara simply looks around at the devastation she has caused and is pleased with herself.
All right, the Romulan says, all right, work here is done. Should return you to the others.
Let's just get some scans first, he says.
Please yourself.
And I'm gonna try something a little devious. I'm gonna try to scan him in his cybernetics while, pretending to try to scan a robot.
Yes, try this.
I will. What's the roll?
Insight medicine or insight engineering. Let's say this time.
Well, I'm using my talent. I'm a doctor, not an engineer, where I could use medicine anyway.
Oh, I have fallen into your trap.
And does cybernetics apply to the focus since...
Yeah, you're
cool. Okay.
You're trying to do a sneaky roll and interpret as cybernetics, so that would apply.
So, insight, medicine, since we said that, so 14.
2 successes. I mean, you're able to get some... You're not detected, so that's good. But you definitely don't get a whole lot from it. It looks like there could be some nanites involved, as well as some... bone braces, but it's really just sort of a jumbled mess. It looks like you're getting interference in your scan. It's deliberately preventing you from getting any kind of major tactical information. Nanites, though, is interesting.
Nothing I could do to try to clear up that interference?
Nope, not this time.
Damn you, fate.
So, basically, you're free to proceed back to the surface, and if you do, you will be in time to meet up with the others.
Kara just follows everybody else, and she still can't understand anybody. Well, kind of understands Setsa, but...
That's a dangerous proposition.
Does anyone truly understand Setsa?
Setsa raises their hand.
I would argue that she definitely does not.
Even Duncan doesn't understand.
Nope. So we go, you're back upstairs, you find the rest of the away team, and they hand you new comm badges.
The first translated thing that Kara gets out is, "Thank the void." God, that was annoying.
Just looks a little hurt and sad.
I mean, we got to talk a lot. That was nice.
Setsa, dear, honey, sweetie, I don't know that you provided the best translation service possible to them.
She definitely didn't. She did not understand what I said that she told you.
Eli, shut up. And I say that without any acrimony at all. While Kara says that she's got her hands on her Setsa's shoulders, clearly trying not to, upset her, but when Eli talks, she basically just quickly turns her head, tells him to shut up, and then goes back to talking to Setsa.
Alright, so at this point, the group's back together, and you got a Romulan, relatively young looking, kind of unkempt hair, and a sort of a black leather long coat with you.
Kara just looks over at him. You kick ass. I respect that.
The Romulan takes a second, just sort of he's thinking that through. He's taking a long time at that. He eventually says, you fight well as well?
Hey, thanks. It's not my major, but, IOD boot camp does what it does.
Alright. So, does anyone have any questions to pose to the Romulan?
Kara, at this point, is so far away from knowing what's going on, she's waiting for the debrief to tell her what she just did.
Okay. At this point, Graves beams down.
Well, you're a brave one doing that so soon.
Interference is cleared up. We are pretty confident that whatever the issue was, you've just taken care of it.
Well, seeing as you're not a fleshy mess, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally exploded some droids.
Wait,
I
fleshy...
kicked one in the face.
Wait, what's this about a fleshy mess?
Graves just looks over to Daniel and says, don't worry about it.
Nobody showed him the warning video. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't want to see them either.
I mean, he didn't take that course in the academy, so...
It was like, right, he doesn't have the basic knowledge. Okay,
Yeah, it's like second semester that they throw that at you.
Right, so anyway, we came, we saw, we beat up some robots. The robots probably attacked the facility. I don't really know anything else that's going on. We got this guy over here, she points at Havoc. He kicks ass.
Graves says, alright, so what kind of energy did the, energy type did the androids use?
Anti-proton, right?
And what kind of energy did damage the base?
Ooh, plasma.
Plasma. And he just sort of looks over to Havoc. And just Havoc gives him sort of like, just comfortable look.
Kara looks over at Havoc. So would we call that an attempt at containment?
You call it that?
In that case, you missed 4 of them.
There were more.
Still missed 4.
Oh, that's why I was sent it. Those are keeping watch on us right now. Suppose we could talk a little?
So how did you know that they'd be here at this point?
We detected the positronic signatures. Facility had been unearthed, and was awakened, and the people here really did not prepare.
Oh, I'm sure they would have been. They would have been very happy to offer the robots there a nice line of quality fabric. Or she looks over. What was in the marketplace?
Think about the researchers here.
Oh well, yeah, they were scientists. They might have been able to fight, but they sure weren't expecting one.
Captain Garva did his best for his people. I saw his final moments, and yeah, that you have my condolences. But I would strongly recommend in this region, find any sophisticated computational units. You do not try to activate them.
Right. So, who made the killer robots?
We are yet uncertain. There are worrying possibilities. This time, I'll not provide you that information. Or you can figure something out.
Hey man, I don't know. I'm not even supposed to be on diplomat duty, but all of a sudden I'm the one doing all the talking here. She looks around.
Setsa,
Graves.
did you have a chance to have a look at the code of the virus? Perhaps we could find out more if we were able to take that apart.
Graves answers and says, yeah, our engineering team upstairs tried to have a look at it. It was rapidly evolving. It's hard to say what exactly was. Originally, it just tried to really aggressively attack our systems. The Reliant, again, was a little bit more shielded from the attack, so we were able to take care of it pretty quickly, but I'm not sure how much we'll be able to get out of the code.
Yeah, evolving code makes me think of the Borg, but she crosses her arms. No organic signatures around here. Also, plasma is more their deal than anti-proton.
At least, though, Starfleet could try to, correlate computational virus and see what we might be dealing with here.
Oh, they were networked, so do we have any information of any kind of network hub or console or something there were?
When he starts talking about hub or console or something, Kara finds somewhere off in the distance to look and just kind of scratches her ear.
That's is kind of doing the same, and Graves says, yeah, I would not be able to give you that information at this time. So I'm kind of with pointy ears over here regarding, I think under the circumstances, it might just be best to... He kind of looks over at Havoc, and Havoc is sort of like glancing at Setsa, and Havoc, and Graves says, I think it would just be best to part, knowing that this is an unfortunate situation, and focus on any threat that may be represented here.
Well, what are we going?
Just go ahead.
So what are we going to do with the corpses of the robots? I guess can't just leave them here. But if we take them with us, then the virus could be problematic.
Graves says, I mean, Reliant shielded at this point, so I'm not too worried about our ship. Against anything, if we come into contact with any other ship, we'll definitely need to employ some quarantine measures.
Just throw them in a Faraday cage.
Faraday cage, and then maybe even just, once we get to somewhere like Starbase Magellan, just really, get a cargo deck and just build that as securely as possible. And, I mean, chances are, if you blew them up, they might not be able to transmit anything.
I have an idea. At least one of them we could send to the Daystrom Institute.
Yeah, sounds good.
Meanwhile, at this point, Kara's inched over to Marcus and just kind of whispers, "They told me the thing was dangerous. I just shot the dangerous thing. Nobody said anything about a control."
Great, Graves sort of like waves aside, saying, "Yeah, fine. I'm happy everyone's safe, but let's just get out of this." He's kind of looking at Havoc. Havoc's being very casual, and Graves just has that little bit of feeling of like, yeah, let's just get out of here before shoe drops. He says, "All right, we'll get going, and we'll get with you, Chag, once what's happened. And if you feel like being more open about your assistance in the future, that would be most welcome."
Kara just kind of gives a quick kind of, fist pump salute to the guy and says, "If you want to kick any more ass, call me next time. That was fun."
That's a whispers to Kara.
Good job. Now get his number.
Kara stops and face palms and just taps her badge and requests a beam up.
And at that point, the rest of the crew is beamed up.
Before they beam up, Eli, says Joel untrue. Then's like, "Call me too." Gives him a wink.
The Romulan wing go ahead. He winks at Eli, and the crew is beamed up.
Upon arrival, Daniel immediately starts checking himself to see if everything's there.
While this is happening, the other comedic moment is Kara is walking out with Setsa going, "Get his number. I'm not trying to date him. I just want to go kill things."
I mean, that can be a fun day.
Well, so Setsa yells after them as they're going away, "Tell her what I really said, not your mistranslated version."
I will. Don't worry. I mean, we're just gonna go, rest up. If you want to just tell her yourself, go for it.
This is you. You mistranslated. It's on you.
Kara sighs. Killing things is a good date? What is this guy, a Klingon?
Chorog and Daniel and Rick, you basically return the ship. Any other business to attend to before we close out?
You're still on Setsa voice.
Damn it.
We forgot the shuttle.
I'm sure the shuttle can make it back on its own.
Yeah.
Checkers is in the shuttle. After all of the Ochakans left, he just packed it up with as much stuff as he could.
Yeah, John is also with him as well. He felt like helping.
This is all legitimately bought. Wink.
Actually, John will make sure it is. He'll have actually been leaving money behind Checkers as he goes. He's just he thought he was helping.
And I'm laughing because with the Ochagans, there's just these pads loaded with energy credits.
Oh, actually, let's put it this way. John's leaving gold bars behind.
Gold, worthless gold.
I mean, to the Ochagans, it's probably valuable. Probably really valuable too. It's just John has left a very generous gift to the people of Uchagra, the settlement of Uchagra, who will
super pure gold.
Told them, yeah, super pure gold. They will melt it down into little statues.
Little golden tardigrades.
And one of them will be of a large Nord man shouting at the sky.
Yes, actually, no. Let's go with they're all of Grimnir. The icons eventually because they think Grimnir will have left these.
Wow.
They were watching while John was doing that. So anyway, we got that. We've got that now.
All right, I cleaned out the entire market and we left gold.
Rick probably just
you have done what they asked, which is you've done great business with them.
Rick probably is just in his office, just trying to find any kind of virus, but that changes as frequently as this. But he's just not getting anything.
You don't get anything, but you do get cases of starships infected by viruses. I mean, you've got USS insert generic name here, USS insert generic name here, USS Yamato.
Nothing that is helpful in determining any kind of source, though. So he just sort of gives up and returns back to.
The Yamato was the ship. The Yamato was the ship the Iconian virus blew up.
Oh, okay. So he will go into like each one of those in turn and try and figure out the situations and try to just line up and with the direct attack on the Reliant systems and the Yamato, there is definitely a correlation there.
Yep, and I mean, super advanced technologies. I wouldn't build some combat androids, but that'd also be unknown to the Iconians at this point, but it could be very useful intel.
Yeah, he will submit appropriate report to whatever the Starfleet Corps of Engineers or whatever body is responsible for that kind of thing.
Cool. Graves, meanwhile, just has a little talk with Mary about some strange happenings that have been happening, or strange things he was feeling on the approach in, strange voices. Mary gives some reassurances, and Graves settles in for a relaxing evening, checking in on this point. And anyone else who happens to be at Club 42. The girls have gone to get a drink.
There is still low-scale humorous bickering between the two. Car's like, I'm not into the Romulan. Sansa's like, it's cool. I'm not jealous or anything.
I mean, you have to make sure he gets along with Nala, because I mean that's essential, right?
Kara makes some sort of strange guttural noise of anguished upsetness and just grabs the nearest alcoholic drink and downs it.
Graves kind of comes by and says, do you need me to take the Setsa?
Normally I wouldn't say that, but could you please, for just a little while?
Is there a cashier? I mean, am I being taken somewhere, the brig, or...
Graves says, no, we're just going to give her some space. Okay, difficult mission, everyone's done well, a little bit worried about everyone, but come out of it fine. Chagrins seem perfectly happy, very happy that everything's resolved peacefully, so I think we can call this a good one.
And Kara just shouts after, and I don't want to fuck the Romulan!
Eli shouts from the booth, I do! Wait, what? Shit, I'm drunk.
Grimnir calls, we all joining in this one?
Kara just, fuck it, where's Chorog? I need venom.
Chorog's off in a dark corner drinking his venom.
Kara will join him and attempt to forget the last 12 hours.
Checkers, meanwhile, has a large amount of Uchagan merchandise.
Sell it in the bar, let's go.
Alright,
he's got a little stall that says Little Uchagra.
He's got a lot of the lower decks just sort of checking it out, like, oh, cool.
It's on one of those old hot dog carts, except for it's not for hot dogs. You know, he's selling hot dogs too. Hot dogs and merchandise.
It said hot dogs, which was hastily repainted over with Choo Choo, which was hastily repainted over with Little Uchagra.
Do I have to roll something to see how much I sell?
Actually, let's go ahead and do it. President's Command.
Amazing. You couldn't have given me a better roll. And obviously a focus applies too.
Yep.
Negotiation.
Let's see if Fate is with you tonight. But also, try to... how much momentum do we got? Between all the combat, we've got enough if you want to buy an extra dice. Yeah, we've got 3.
Yeah, I'm buying a die, it's funny.
Want to buy 2 dice?
Already got the 3.
Oh!
Should have gone for the 3.
No, actually, no, that's good, because the 3 gets you the second success. Otherwise, you would have just had the complication in one
Actually, can I buy that 4th?
You can
re-roll. Too late? No, I don't. I want to buy the 4th. I want to add on.
Okay, go ahead and just add one more time.
Damn.
So, 2 successes, 1 complication. You make some pretty good business, but realize after a few moments that the Uchagran gentleman's literature has been included in the wares. Some has been sold to the crew.
That's not a me issue. That sounds like a them issue.
Alright, you make a tiny little profit here. Distributing what might be technically contraband, or just questionable if it makes the rounds of, security. We haven't done a contraband check in a while yet. So, with that, do we have any final scenes for the night?
No, but I would like to point out that literature and pictures and things of that sort aren't contraband, because that is the only thing that Kara had hidden before.
Oh, yeah. But for Muchagra, it'd be questionable. Like, how did you get this?
Point.
All right.
Their mourning tradition was trade,
all right.
and they were really mourning.
I guess if no one else has anything, I just have a little fun scene.
Go for it.
The camera pans down into a dark room where a film is being projected onto the wall with Daniel watching. And with these 12 simple rules, you can use transportation technology safely. Just remember, or else you face certain oblivion. Have a nice day. And as the credits roll, Daniel just kind of sits there and says, "Bliet."
At one point, there's the thing. I don't know what you said back, but whatever it was didn't live very long. Thankfully.
From Galaxy Quest. It
Why
exploded.
is it inside out?
And he went on to live a normal, happy life for 2 seconds.
For some definitions of happy.
It was a learning experience.
It turned inside out and exploded.
I'll say it was a learning experience. He learned lessons that were going to stay with him the rest of his life.
Alrighty. And the camera pans over to Dr. Eli O'Connor's office.
He's going to his room.
Oh, room, yes.
Yeah, going to his room after a long day. He sends a report on what he's gathered to Graves, basically all the scans that he did on the Romulan and the mentions of the Conclave and such. It says to refer to Starfleet intel for further, investigation if possible. And he closes the door behind him.
And someone is sitting in his chair.
Doesn't notice. Why would somebody be in his room?
So the individual rotates the chair, just arched fingers. He's just looking at Eli.
He's hanging up his jacket. He doesn't know.
I just thought the funniest thing that could happen now is that Eli doesn't notice and just sits down on him.
I want to roll for that, actually.
Go for it.
All right, what's the roll?
Insight security.
And
no successes means I don't have any threat left, but you can spend my threat to gain momentum.
Yes, let us do that.
You've got 2 momentum now. Or actually, no, it's extra dice. Sorry. You can spend to give me 2 threat to give me an extra dice, correct?
Yes, so basically you can give threat as if it was momentum.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Let's go for 2 extra dice for 4 threat. Because funny.
So comp range of 16, you've got 4 dice.
Does a complication mean he notices?
I mean, complication means, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it.
Too many successes.
He notices after he's already sat down.
Well, this is awkward.
And he hears in a somewhat familiar voice, indeed.
What the hell? He gets up and looks under him.
He sees a red-headed, shrill man with a beard. Looks very much like Eli.
Shit, mirror attack. He tries to kick
No, I'm not Mirror. I'm not Mirror. Mirror you is, younger. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, wrong universe.
So, I'm you.
Okay. Sure.
The future.
2 weeks, a year, 100, 1,000. Be more specific. Or don't now.
2415.
I really grow that beard? No. Please tell me that's a fake.
It seemed like a good idea.
I'm sorry. I got to change the timeline. I'm not growing that.
And as he says this, there's a pop, and the other Eli's beard vanishes.
And then they're just going through the same conversations. I'm you for 2415.
With those pants?
Repeat. And he's wearing a different set of pants.
Not with that eyeliner.
Clearly, this will take many hours.
Okay.
So there's an increasing temporal anomaly building around the ship, and DB just he feels like there's something weird going on somewhere around here. So he's just sort of walking around the ship at this point, just sort of feeling out where the weirdness is, and that's for Daniel. But
I was going to say that while he does all this, instead of Eli, at one point, the time investigator Daniels just pops in and says, "Stop it!" and then pops out, and then Eli comes back.
He's no longer wearing a sombrero.
I kind of dig the sombrero. Bring it back. Okay, seriously.
They're not aware. They're not aware of the sombrero because it has already been removed from the timeline by Daniels.
Eli
So
remembers.
at this point, Eli says, "All right, 2415. I've been tasked with coming back, giving you a little bit of a heads up. It's nothing too much.
Okay.
Just-
Do I have to
it'll
duck
help you
during
out.
baseball? I hate baseball, so why would I be playing that? Boxing.
the
I
Fed-
do like boxing.
The Federation's going to get attacked soon.
I mean, we're already at war with the Kling. Or wait, is it? Are we still at war with the Klingons?
No, that's ended 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. I have not been keeping up with the news. I just sort of assumed we were still. Okay, so not at war anymore. That's good to hear.
Okay, yeah. I remember this. Okay, so what I need you to do, or what we need to do.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of drunk, so yeah, you could have picked a better time. But go on.
They said this would cause them no disruption. So anyway, you know the stuff that you just blew up?
Yeah. I think we did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. So those are Iconian, and the Iconians are coming back.
Say what now?
Okay, so they used to rule over most of the galaxy.
No, I know who the Iconians are. Well, at least
Yeah.
what we know of them. But what do you mean they? What?
They're gonna attack everything, literally everything. Oh, actually, did they get Starbase? I don't think they really ever bothered. No, they didn't bother with Starbase Magellan.
Well, that's good to hear. But holy shit, that's a lot to just put on my shoulders.
Yeah, so that's what comes out of these kinds of conversations. So anyway, what we need to do is just try to find all the Iconian intel you can find and give that to Starfleet. Easy peasy.
Well, I think I just helped a little with that today.
Yeah, you can't tell them the war's coming, because, that would just cause this conversation to happen again, just slightly differently.
All right. Could you write this in a note, because I might not remember when I wake up, like I said.
Okay, I'll
really
write this as a
drunk.
note.
I might just think this is a fever dream.
I mean, this is a really big favor, so, thank you for, helping us all to not die.
The Romulan, he's hot. Do we,
I mean, he's looking awkward, it's worth a shot.
All right.
Worth a shot. Yeah, let's see. Is there anything else? I mean, low-key stuff I can sort of, let's call this payment.
Well, first off, you want a drink? I'd be, very rude if I did not offer you myself a drink.
I'm just a temporal projection, so, you're just gonna be spilling booze on the floor if you try to hand me more.
Would not be the first time. Busy, I'm talking to myself, he says as he hears Daniel
So there's a knock at the door. Daniel knocks at the door, and then future Eli looks at the door and is like, we stopped time. It should just be us.
Wait, you stopped? Holy shit, you're
This is a
Dio!
soul bubble. No, I'm not Dio. No, there's just this device thing.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
not Dio, damn.
Is it Daniels?
Daniels, as in, the guy that popped in and told me to just stop it?
Oh, they're not aware of that. Because it just reset the timeline again.
Eli remembers.
Okay.
Else he
So
would have
so-
kept going.
Ridge Farms.
Okay, so Daniel, you can walk in at this.
Oh, you mean DB. How can he walk in if the door doesn't work? Time is
The
paused.
door will work. In their vicinity. So the door is, for convenience purposes, he's able to access that.
Damn it, he just really
Eli,
walked
are
into
you
my room.
okay?
I think we're fine, yes.
The other Eli gives a thumbs up.
Can I come in?
Okay. Sure.
Daniel opens the door.
Okay, so
Should I have done that?
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, it's just young Daniel, so
Young Daniel.
he'll learn eventually. I think he's been through a lot. Yeah, I mean, stuff that guy's seen. Yeah, this is fine. I might be even.
Why are there
here.
two of you?
Time travel. He makes ooh hand gestures.
Daniel just kind of walks up and pokes at him.
All right, so that the Daniel, or the future Eli says, all right, I'll do the note here. Just keep an eye out. You'll be fine. Got it?
Okay, I feel like there should be something else, but
Oh yeah. This thing, and he hands a small little device of uncertain origin or uncertain manufacture to Eli.
okay, I didn't realize I was getting an actual present. This is pretty neat.
I mean, yeah. So you'll be able to use that to detect extra Iconian readings. So it should help you just kind of be more observant and give you a little incentive to be there.
I'm assuming that I should hide this.
Yeah. Although, I mean, if anyone asks, you can just say you got it from the half deck.
Yeah, but then they'll tell me to put it back.
I mean, what if you just say Daniel says you can keep it? You can keep it, right? He looks at Daniel.
I think you're thinking of the wrong Daniels.
I'm definitely not.
Like the one in the jumpsuit. Are we thinking of the same Daniel?
What's this about jumpsuit?
It'll look good on you. Don't worry.
Sure, you can have that. That's probably fine.
And with that, future Daniel says, "All right, peace out," and then he just vanishes, and time is restored. And for the sake of we're running a little bit over. Let's go ahead and take care of implications next time. But thank you for joining us on this adventure. We'll be coming back to you in a couple of weeks or thereabout with more from Star Trek Reliant. Any fan questions, email inquiries, send to reliant@starbaseugc.com. And with that, I wish everyone a great night.
I'm also looking forward to more Lamborghinis, Mr. Saudi Prince.